Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a squat and deadlift day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below, be greatly appreciated. Alright, squatting, I'm again able to finally get into a low bar position, still trying to find the comfort zone for that. The issue I'm running into here, as you guys will see watching the footage, still not quite hitting the depth I would like to hit. All right, we're just a hair high, and it's going to take some practice to get used to that with this bar position. And a lot of it is the fact that I feel like I'm sinking it, but I'm still getting used to these mechanics again of having the bar in that spot. And once I get used to it, I feel like I'll be able to sink it deeper. Because I'm having to focus so much of my setup into getting that bar in position and getting tight up top that I'm not then putting the focus that I need to into putting my hips in the right spot and everything else. So again, it's just going to be a learning curve again of getting my power squat back to where I want it, particularly in this position instead of the high bar position I had been using. And I did high bar even at my last meet, right? So that 496 squat was high bar. But I know that I have so much more potential with the low bar squat. I have more potential there to get that squat back up, to where it was previously. But it's going to take some practice, and I may need to back the weight back down just a little bit just to focus on getting that depth, right? And to not be as worried about the amount of weight sitting on my back. But again, it's fixable. It's totally fixable, but it is going to take a little bit of practice. All right, deadlifting. Again, I felt a little fatigued from doing that, so the deadlift felt relatively heavy. So even the 585 training max today, I mean, it locked really clean. I held it at the top. I felt like just fine. Grip and everything was good. It did feel a little heavier than I would like, ideally through that sticking point, right just below the knee, right there. See that bar slowing a little bit. On a training max, I'd like it a little faster than that. And I think I really need to work glute bridges back in. So getting the setup here was a little tricky on this platform because I have limited space with the platform here. So I went ahead and took those band pegs off after this first set because I couldn't get this into position. Notice my head almost hitting the reverse hyper. So this first set was a little bit off. So I ended up sliding the bar over just a little bit so my head could clear the reverse hyper. Remove those band pegs. I'm not doing speed pulls right now. I don't have to have them on there. This went a lot better. Now, historically, I've been very, very strong at glute bridges. So, the range of motion was not perfect. Wasn't perfect with this weight today. I've been stronger than this in the past. But the fact of the matter is, I'll get these back up to where I can do these correctly with this weight, and then we'll go up from there. But a lot of it was finding my foot position again. I felt like they worked really, really well. I felt a lot of glute. I felt a lot of quad on these, which is what we want. I'm doing these for two purposes. Number one, obviously, that glute and hip extension. Really, if you look at where that becomes difficult, that's going to be the same muscles involved with that portion of my deadlift where the bar slows. So when I didn't have that sticking point, if you guys remember in the past, when I've pulled over 600 without that sticking point being there, I was really strong at glute bridges. I was real strong at these. In fact, better range of motion than this was something like 535 for all my work sets. And I think I had done 5 by 10 in one day before with 535. So that's really kind of where we need to be. Also today on this, it took me a little longer to do the workout because I took that handle off the middle, and man, did it make a difference. My ability to get into that narrow stance position to just get deep and hammer my quads on this belt squat was so much improved by removing that bar. It's a game changer. Like, that bar really messes it up. And like I said before, I felt like that really caused my quads to detrain by having that in the way and holding on to it. But notice my body is going through where that bar was. I can get into that position. Everything feels more natural. The quad burn was enormous. So I feel like between that lengthened position the glute bridge is putting on my quads and the ability to get back into that stance now, just adjusting that belt squat, taking that middle handle off, my quads are going to blow back up. And that's going to help. It's definitely going to help my squat. I think it's also going to help me get that depth easier on the squat as well, because notice how deep I can get on those in that narrower stance. That will still translate over into getting strong in that position at that wide stance. But I've got to find that correct sweet spot on that wide stance to get deep. But I need those quads to be strong in that lengthened position when we do that. Also on the reverse hyper, I'm pulling myself up further onto it to make it more difficult at the top. Notice I couldn't get as many reps today, but I pretty much, there's no way for me to do that straight arm. My arms are bent any way I do that because I have pretty long arms. My wingspan is actually over 6 foot. So it's like 6'1", 6'2" when I've measured my wingspan before. So I do run into a little bit of issues with that and hanging too far down. But I feel like if I really want to get the most out of that reverse hyper of using this one, because it's a newer one, I bought this one a few months back. I bought it when I moved into the new house. I do need to get into that slightly higher position, and I think that would be advantageous for me to do so. So I'm going to continue to work on doing that. It's going to be a little more difficult, but again, we get a little better glute activation, I think, by doing that because of the position it puts everything in. And again, I need my glutes stronger. I feel like when I look at what's going on with my deadlift, and the reason I'm stuck in the low 600s, I do feel like glutes are playing a big role in that. It's not hamstrings. My hamstrings are crazy strong. My quads are still pretty strong on them too. So again, another reason to emphasize glutes a little bit more. I feel like I need that glute strength, and I feel like that will take my deadlift up the next notch. Again, as long as my grip can hold up. And we'll continue to do stuff to strengthen the grip. But that's pretty much what we finished up this workout with, was getting those deep belt squats and then adjusting that position on the reverse hyper. So again, getting some new training stimulus in here, adjusting the exercises a little bit, and stimulate some new lower body growth, particularly the quads and the glutes. We should see these lifts go up. To reiterate, it's just strengthening the right muscles to get the deadlift to continue to go up. Even though deadlift's my best lift right now, and squat's my worst at the moment, the squat will start catching back up, and it's going to be a matter of getting used to that low bar position, getting those mechanics dialed back in, and being able to hit depth. And I feel like once I'm able to hit depth there, get used to that bar position and bring my quads up a little bit, my squat will start climbing up higher into the 500s. And I know that's what will happen. I've been there before. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.